All right, let's move on to our next game. We are in the arcades. This is called Trak by Exity, it looks like from the box. Let's take a look at the artwork. Here is the advertisement flyer. That is very boring, Exity. You got to do better than that. Intrigue, palm-sweating excitement of an Orient Express. I didn't know an Orient Express was exciting. If you liked Crash, you'll love Trak. And we did play Crash, but I don't even know what Trak is. There's no screenshots. There's a terrible picture of the arcade cabinet. And for controls, looks like it's just a 4-way joystick with one button, possibly. Okay, yeah, there's one button for speed up and then moving around after that. And this is a game programmed entirely in black and white. Let's take a look at the manual. This is the typed up manual. Okay, it's in December 1979, near the end of the year. So this was released at the very, very end of 79, which is where we are. We are trekking ahead almost to 1980. Does it tell us what this is? When the game's first turned on, a 5-lane square track is graphically displayed. Alternating with a racetrack display is the high score followed by... Okay, that doesn't tell us how to play. Crash has a coin operator mode. Introduction. Switch tracks to avoid crash with killer engine. Ends the number of... Okay, gameplay. When a player presses the start button, a fanfare tune signals the start of play. The player's train starts at the bottom center of the screen and moves counterclockwise. Oh, okay, so it's similar to Head On by Sega, or another variation of Head On. So you're trying to be a train this time instead of a car. I think we got it. We can always revert back to the manual if we need some help with it, but let's step up to the arcade. This is 1979 playing Trak by Exity. And there it is. We have all the artwork, too. So this is the marquee and everything you'd see on the cabinet displayed. They give us a very small view, but you can see the artwork the arcade cabinet would have. And it is all in black and white. We're not seeing an overlay. It's possible they didn't have one. But let's put a quarter in and see what happens. So there's my 25 cents. Switch tracks to avoid crash with killer engine. Past starting point for bonus cars and score. Added train cars increases score. Which is 1979. Okay, here it goes. So we push start. Oh, yeah, it's ready to rock. Loud as all get out. So if you can see here, I am already crashed. I started at the bottom of the screen, and it looks like as soon as I move the joystick, I change the track layout. I don't know what the goal is. Oh, I see. We have people that we're picking up. And then we have a killer train that is trying to chase us at the same time. So now I'm at the bottom. It's right behind me chasing me. It looks like it has the same speed as me, but now they added another train. There's not a lot of differentiation between where I am and where they are. I just have to remember. And the track, oh, okay. So the track layout, as soon as it switches, you can't change it again. So you have to keep going the same one. And I'm already game over after the first try. Okay, let's put another quarter in and try it again. It is a variation of Head On, where another computer-controlled car is playing, and you're meant to pick up all of the... It was dots in Head On, but this is player or people that you're picking up on your train, and you're just trying to clear the board, picking everybody up before you get crashed by the other train. All right, so is there a way I can get... I don't know if I can get the other players... So as far as the play control, there's not a lot of control you have. And playing as a train, it's slower paced than the car. I don't know. So from the chat, Pretty117 said, killer engine. Yeah, that's what they said the bad guy was. And I've crashed. All right, so I would say I'm pretty disappointed in Exity for what we've seen in 1979. It is not original. It is a variation of what we've seen before. We're going to go and give that one a 2-star rating because it's still in black and white, and we've seen other things in color at this point. So 2 stars for Trak in the arcades. All right, let's move on to our next game. This is Sky Love. It advertises in color, it looks like. Let's take a look at the artwork. There we go. This is the Japanese advertisement flyer, Sky Love, and you can see they say color. The only cabinet there is a cocktail version of the cabinet, at least on that advertisement flyer. For the controls, looks like it's just left and right and fire. And then another game programmed only in black and white. What is Sky Love? And there's no manual, so we're going in blind. All right, we're stepping up to the arcades playing Sky Love in the arcades in 1979. Playing every video game. We're finishing up 1979, so we're about to be done with all the games from the 70s by the time we're finished. And there it is. We have some artwork, not really canon on the sides. So if we want to, we can get rid of it. But the game is programmed only in black and white. I do not know if they had an overlay. From what we saw on the cabinet, it looks like it wasn't. So and this was in Japan. So let's put a quarter in and see what happens. Push start for one player. Number 1. Sky Love looks like a vertical shooter. So I'm at the bottom moving left and right. And yes, it is a space, it's very much inspired by Space Invaders. We've seen plenty, and we will see tons. So as far as originality, I see that the ships are coming in the screen, but there's no scrolling. We've seen some scrolling shooters, but this one is very much a fixed shooter at the bottom, moving left and right. And black and white characters, anything special, because we've also seen some shooters that included like leveling up. You could get to a next wave of harder aliens or harder enemies, and then it progressively gets harder and harder. Oh, and you don't adjust your speakers. I am not getting any sound from the game. I did hear something earlier, but I'm not sure. Some of these games are so old that not all the sound is programmed in the PCB. Okay, so it's saying number 2, like I'm getting a different wave or I'm moving to another level, which the idea of moving to another level hasn't really hit yet. So even though I said that, it's still 1979. There is no such thing as levels, at least right now. But it did say number 1, then number 2, so it increases, but I'd say it's still something typical we see at the time. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. So it is average, but just slightly below that. 2.5 for Sky Love in the arcades.